Legends ZA has been out for less than a week. I have already beat the game, so let's go ahead and talk about it and compare it to Legends Arceus. So to start off, I want to go ahead and say and get this out of the way that I am a big fan of the Pokemon Legends games. I was really interested in the idea whenever Legends Arceus came out. It was the first time that we got like an open world Pokemon game, something completely different from other main series games, and it really was an exciting time to be a Pokemon fan, I would say, because it just was something brand new that a lot of people were looking forward to. It was the first time that we had an actual open world game to explore. The battle style was changed from the traditional Pokemon battling, and there was just all different kinds of new features and things that we've never really seen before, and altogether it was just a really cool game. I like the art style. I kind of get into that a little bit more, but I was just a big fan of the game. And a little backstory on me, I am a big fan of the Kalos region. Growing up, my first Pokemon games were Fire Red and Leaf Green. I kind of grew up in that Game Boy Advance DS era of Pokemon games, but I was in high school when X and Y came out. That's when I kind of got into competitive battling with X and Y, so naturally I put a lot of hours into those games. So that region kind of always sticks with me because of that. And I've always been disappointed that we've gotten nothing for Kalos. It feels like every other Pokemon region has gotten sequels, a third game, some kind of a spin-off, and Kalos has gotten nothing since X and Y. So of course, when Legends ZA was announced, I was very excited because I was a huge fan of the Legends games. I was a huge fan of the Kalos region, so to see those two things combined, it's just like the perfect game. So all that being said, you would think that Legends ZA would be the top Legends game for myself because I'm a huge Kalos fan, but I've gotta say that I still like Legends Arceus a lot more. Now, I'm not one of these people that's gonna say Legends ZA is a bad game, because I don't think it's a bad game at all, but I do have some criticisms for the game, and I do think that there are some missteps as far as going from Legends Arceus to Legends ZA. So I want to go ahead and talk about those things. Well, to start off, I think the game ran phenomenally. Obviously, graphically, there's always improvements, right? The 2D buildings, people say it looks like a PS2 game. Like, graphically, it could be better, right? But that's nothing new with Pokemon games, right? You can't point to another Pokemon game in the past and say that it was better graphically than this game. I even went back and played Legends Arceus just to kind of compare a little bit, and it's just a huge step up from that game as far as how the game looks visually, how it runs. Everything just feels a lot smoother. I played from start to finish without really any kind of gameplay issues, which is unheard of as of recently. If you played Scarlet and Violet, you'll know all the glitches, the lagging, all that kind of stuff, the frame drops. I didn't experience any of that with Legends ZA. Kind of a disclaimer, I am playing on the Switch 2 version, so I can't speak to the Switch 1 version, but I have had people comment on my videos saying the Switch 1 version was, perfectly fine too, so I've heard good things about that version as well, but as far as the Switch 2 version goes, I haven't had any issues. But at this point, that's kind of the bare minimum, right? We would expect that a $70 game for the next gen console, the Switch 2, would run okay, and so hopefully that's the case, and in this case it is the case, so we can go ahead and check that box off and say that the game runs good. As far as the game itself, I am a big fan of the story. I felt like it was a good length to the story. It took me about 20 hours to beat. I pretty much focused mostly on the story, but I spent some time like doing ranked a little bit and some other things as well, so if you really focus on just the main story from start to finish, it'll probably take you about 16-17 hours to beat. And overall, it felt pretty good. Like, it didn't feel too repetitive. I will say towards the end, some of the fights felt a little repetitive, or some of the grinding, like at night, trying to level up, that kind of, felt a little bit repetitive, but that's nothing new to Pokemon, right? Like, you have to level your Pokemon up. It's kind of a grind at times, so it never felt like unenjoyable. It always felt pretty good, and overall, like I said, the story was pretty good. I did like the end of the game a lot, like the kind of ending, like last hour or two of the game was really cool. Not gonna spoil anything, but to me that was the best part of the game, was the ending. And yeah, I really kind of enjoyed the story mode and how it kind of flowed. I also really liked all the boss fights, or like the rogue mega evolution fights, I should say. They were very unique. All of them felt pretty different for the most part. Some of them were harder than others, but it always felt like you had to use some kind of strategy to kind of win those. It never felt like it was super hard, but there was definitely some difficulty there that's not always there with Pokemon, so that's definitely something that I did appreciate. And again, it felt a little bit repetitive towards the end because we had so many of them, but I was also kind of powering through the game, so I'm sure if you kind of take your time going through the game, then that's not really an issue at all. The other big thing that I am a fan of with this game is the battle system. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. You either love it or you hate it, but me personally, I did enjoy it. I like to see them do different things here, and with Legends Arceus, it kind of felt like an in-between, like they were kind of switching it up, but not entirely. Still kind of felt like that traditional battling. With this game, it just felt completely different. No more turn-based fighting, really. It was kind of more action-based. And I really appreciate that. I mean, we always have Pokemon champions, so if you like the traditional battling, we're always going to have that option there with that, you know, for competitive play. So it kind of allows for more room for, I guess, experimentation with the main story games, and that's definitely something that I can appreciate. People always complain that they never change anything with these games, and then when they actually do, they still complain, so people are just gonna complain regardless. But I liked it. I thought it was fun, something different. And yeah, hopefully moving forward, they continue to kind of experiment with this and kind of change it up a little bit. So that's pretty much what I have for all the good stuff with Legends EA. I enjoyed the battling. I enjoyed the story mode. I enjoyed the fact that the game ran smoothly. Those were kind of the three big things. And then also like the Rogue Mega Evolution fights, those were pretty cool as well. But the big thing for me that was disappointing with this game was the fact that we were just in Lumio City. I know for some people, I'm gonna keep saying this because everybody has different opinions. This is my opinion. Some people don't care about this, but for me personally, I just was not a fan of being limited to just Lumio City. Just felt like it just felt like a big side quest. That's how I felt the whole game. Like it didn't feel like I was in Kalos, you know what I mean? Like without Prism Tower, you could have told me this was any city in any region and I would have believed you. Like it just felt very limiting, you know? Every wild zone kind of felt the same. There was only one wild zone that really felt different to me, which was like, I think it was Wild Zone 12, the ice one. All the other ones just felt very similar. By the time you beat the game, if you've been catching stuff kind of throughout your progression of the game, then you pretty much have completed all the wild zones already. And it just feels like there's nothing to explore. Like every building looks the same, every wild zone looks the same. Like it just knowing that there's a whole Kalos region out there and we don't get to see any of it, just kind of sucks. Going back to Legends Arceus, you know, it was a game where I felt like every single area was just completely different. Like even just one area of the map, it just felt more immersive than the entire game of Legends ZA. You know, you had like the ocean you could explore, like the volcano within the same area, you got like the shipwreck, like there's all different kinds of things there. And with Legends ZA, I just never had that feeling. And of course with Legends Arceus, you were able to ride Pokemon too, which was really cool. So you get to fly around, you get to swim, you get to dig for stuff, climb the mountains. It just felt like there was a lot more to do and explore. And overall, I guess that's kind of my issue with this game. Again, I don't think Legends ZA is a bad game. I just feel like it should have been swapped, if that makes sense. I think if Legends ZA would have came out first and then Legends Arceus would have came out, it would have really felt like a step up from Legends ZA, because that's kind of how I feel right now. Like I feel like if Legends ZA would have came out first, you know, we're stuck in one city, but it's still open world. We get to do all these different things. And then Legends Arceus comes out, and now we have the ability to ride Pokemon, explore the whole region. We get to craft stuff. Like, it just feels like there's more to do in that game. And I guess this is one of those things where Legends Arceus came out first, right? And it really kind of opened up what's possible with this kind of game. And then Legends ZA comes out. We kind of have that expectation, and it just feels like there's not as much to do. You know what I mean? So it's just like one of those things where like we see what the potential is, and then we get something else, and it's kind of like, what happened to all this other stuff, you know? It's crazy to me that I'm saying this because I've never been a huge fan of Sinnoh whatsoever, but Legends Arceus, man, like, I don't know, it's the art style, the crafting, everything was just, it just felt better, you know? And that's just my opinion. Again, I don't think either game is bad. I like Legends Arceus a little bit more, you know? I'm really hoping the DLC brings a lot more to this game. From my understanding, it still is in Lumiose, so we're not going to get outside of Lumiose whatsoever, which again kind of sucks. But I really do hope that it kind of adds some more to the game, and we'll kind of see from there. But my final thoughts are, I like Legends Arceus more. I just wish that they would have, I guess, let us explore more of the region. Like, to me, it's not a big deal, right? But to me it is, you know? Like, if you're gonna go open world, then let's go open world, let's visit the rest of the region. And again, it would have been an entirely different game at that point, right? The game is focused on Lumio specifically, but it just felt like there was some lacking, you know? Like, yeah, we got some cameos, we got some characters from the original X and Y. It just felt like there could have been more there too, you know? That being said, go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys think of the games. Again, personally, I've got to say I liked Legends Arceus more. Legends ZA was a good game, but I found myself like feeling disappointed. You know what I mean? I just felt like there could have been more. And hopefully moving forward, they continue with the Legends games, because I really love this style of game. I think there's so much potential there, and I have seen the leaks for future games. Again, I'm not going to talk about it, but I am very excited for what's to come. So we will see within the next few years here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts about it, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.